Hello, everybody. My name is Lenny Valdez, and I come from Boston, Massachusetts, but I live out here in the Miami, Florida area. And today I'm going to be talking to you on the topic of depression. Yes, I know us men, we're not going to be all soft and talk about this topic, but it is what it is. We're human. So, I'm definitely here to talk about it. It's something that, at some point in my life, it definitely affected me. Even maybe it almost changed my life in a way where, just certain things happen to me. So, I only want to empower people. I want to empower others, just like, the empowerment that I needed when I was younger. So hopefully I don't even care if it's like, one person that, this even makes it to and it rubs off to and, they can relate or they can, they can just vibe to. Hey, I'm here for it. And by the way, it's an open door for me, right? You can always reach out to me any way possible. I'll definitely do my best to try to even help out anyway. But yeah, again, the topic of depression. So yeah, let me get this started down here in Florida. Everything's bright over here, so get a little cool out here. But all right, so yeah, depression. This is a topic obviously that not many people in general like to talk about. Some people don't mind. This is definitely a sensitive topic for sure. Um, but for me, I know it's one thing I definitely went through this from a young age all the way even to my adulthood. And it definitely has, there's been some highs and lows to this depression. A lot more negative things have come, obviously, but good things. So here goes, so essentially, how I endured depression, you know, it really it stemmed at a young age, right? At a young age, I was raised in a predominantly Spanish household. So, kind of strict, at least on my dad's side. So, at a young age, anytime anything happened, obviously we all humans, we go through emotions, right? And it's one of those, as kids, right? We probably go through the craziest emotions, right? Up and like a roller coaster, up and down, right? So, but for at least my family and this is predominantly the Spanish culture, we often we internalize a lot of things. Like we don't really share that with other people, or we don't vent it out. We don't speak to no psychiatrist or something or anything like that. We just kind of keep it pushing. It's like, all right, that happened. We got spanked. All right, let's move on. Or we're grounded, whatever. We move on. Um, so overall, it was very hard because it was just moments that I could start slowly but sure. As I'm older, I'm seeing it now, but I started to see I was just building up anger, right? Like that, all that sadness, the anger, maybe the feelings of being down, left out, hurt, ashamed, abused, right? That's really it. Um, that all leads to depression, and how do you vent that in turn? As what I said, by the way, it's starting to rain, so don't mind me if I have to cut this short. But um but yeah, no, it's one of those things I was saying, as a kid, how do you even vent that out, right? You don't know how to, so you blurt that out in what? Crying, anger, right? Shouting, and all that stuff. But little do we know, or at least little did I know, right? As I was growing older, this it was kind of like a hamster in a hamster wheel. It was that anger and sadness or whatever that I was going through, and it was like a cycle going over and over again. So what did that mean as I was growing into my adolescence? It led right into my teenage years, right? Where I'm not saying I was an angry boy. I'm not saying I was mad and pouty. I was a cheerful person. Like if anybody knows me, deep down, family, friend, they know, yo, this guy just always high energy, this, that, and the third, loud, whatever, yada yada. That's how I always was, right? So you never really could tell that, oh, this guy's really, he's really going through stuff, right? Even though I really was probably back in the day. So that depression, it came out in various ways, but again, it was kind of in the moment around, the family for the most part, or the parents, wherever I was going through. So I didn't really know how to manage it, to be very honest. That's the answer to that. I didn't know how to manage it. The learning really came as I got through to my adulthood, through experiences, right, through life, through lessons, through relationships, everything like that. So some of the effects that depression had on me, um, I ain't gonna sugarcoat anything. None was positive, right? Um, I guess I could say, okay, maybe you had times of isolation, time to yourself. I guess people say, oh, time to yourself is good. Yeah, I guess you had that when you're depressed, right? You don't really want to be around anybody. You want to isolate yourself. You want to just take time to yourself and just internalize things, right? So, yeah, no, it was one of those things that I saw it as I was going into my adolescence, right? It was blurting back out to family, right? If it was my dad or my uncle, right? If I'm getting in trouble, right? It's blurted almost right back out through my attitude, through my actions, right? Through my behaviors. In that sense, that's how I was kind of going out. And even through my loved ones, even to my friends, right? Sometimes I would just like over the top. You get over the top mad, right? And just to cut time short, because I could talk for days. Some of y'all know me. I could talk forever, forever, forever. So I'm gonna just sum it up like this: growing even into my adulthood years, right? There were even times just having arguments or debates with like friends, close family, that it would just go way over the top. Like sometimes it got even so bad that it even went physical, right? And I'm not saying that, oh, depression makes you do this. I'm saying these are sometimes of the symptoms of depression, right? At a young age, you're internalizing a lot of this stuff. So you're not really letting it out. You're not really venting about this stuff. You're just kind of, and when you are letting it out, it's coming out in rage. It's coming out with like, impatience. It's coming out, with fits of anger and all that stuff. So, you're learning the hard way by doing that, right? Because sometimes it gets really bad. In senses where, at the end of the day, you might be doing everything right, like everything right. But the fact that you never knew how to cope with it, the fact you never knew how to manage your depression, um, it's one of those things that it can sometimes go out in ways that you don't want to go out, right? And it can affect other people. Um, I just want to let y'all know, like, and I should have mentioned this in the beginning, but if some of y'all has experienced this or whatever, like, I feel y'all. Like, I've been here, I've done that, I've probably done worse. Like, literally, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm just here, like, it's someone you can relate to. I'm just being honest. Like, I'm being an open book. I really wear everything on my sleeve. I got nothing to hide, like, and everything like that. I'm not, as I said, I'm not gonna go into every detail, but the point is, I'm giving you the principle, and the principle is that this stuff started to build up at a young age, and the depression built up, went to adulthood, right? It started being to the point where I was bringing that attitude, I was bringing that negative energy of depression into my friendship, my relationships, my jobs, right? Letting it affect me in certain ways that it just wasn't my character. It just was just the depression that I was going through. And I'll be honest, I didn't care about meds. I never believed in man-made stuff, pills and all that. Yes, I've done them several times. I'm not opposed to it or anything like that. I just rather not. So I've done them and they've never like made me feel good. There was never really like a super drug out there. And if there was a legal drug out there that ever made me feel better was Adderall. And that was literally for college and studying and all that stuff. But overall, the way I overcame it personally for me, it was just finding a connection with God. Everyone's different. I know everyone's path is different, so I get it. If this is not your path, sorry. I'm just letting you know what worked out for me personally, and I have a whole video vlog, channel on YouTube, Soliloquy Show, that I talk about all this stuff specifically of what I went through, right? And it highlights this depression, this anger, and all that stuff. But the way I overcame it was finding peace. I had to find some type of peace. Where could I find it? Okay, yeah, we can go to the, to the psychiatry. We can go to a psychologist. Absolutely, we can. But I wanted to go to something that was bigger than anything, right? And for me, that was God, right? Nothing could touch God, and like He's the all-knowing, He's the all-powerful. And I was like, let me just find this type of peace through Him. And that, not only that, I did do therapy. I went to therapy. I checked myself in therapy, not because I was going crazy. I just wanted to get better. I wanted to know how to manage certain moods better. And so overall, my advice, to everyone is, first and foremost, be honest. You ain't I don't care how big you are. I don't care how many muscles you got. I don't care how much money you got. You're a human at the end of the day. Me and you, we're the same because we're human, right? Yeah, we might be different, like in terms of like being, in terms of like what we do and stuff like that, our personalities, but in terms of who we are human. We have emotions, we go through things, and depression is one of those things. It happens to everybody. It's inevitable. It's going to happen to everybody. In terms of finding it, there's many routes, right? I took obviously like, finding God, but I did beyond that. I went to therapy. I did whatever medications that the doctors were prescribing with. I am a medical marijuana patient. So I definitely tried that route as well. Not only that, but I had to get out there. I tried to travel more. I had to go out to, you know, I live in Florida. I was going out to beaches. I was going out to pools, right? Getting massages, getting, like anything done. I like my hair is blonde. You see the blonde hair? I never had my hair blonde until this year. I'm 32 years old. I have not had my hair blonde until this year. This is what I mean about the changes. And look, I'm 32 years old. And yes, I've been battling depression all this time, literally. And it has taught me a lot. It's matured me a lot. And that is the silver lining of depression, that if you look at it in a positive light, meaning like you're actually trying to get out of it, when you do get out of it, or you see that you're getting out of it, you're going to look back and you're going to be like, I'm seeing now the areas that maybe that I could have done better. And that you want to do better, that you will do better when you go forward, right? So yeah, be honest with yourself. You can't lie to yourself, right? If you're going to be out on God depression, or if you do, that's fine. I'm gonna smoke weed. I'm gonna do drugs. I'm gonna do, whatever. I'm gonna gamble, whatever. I don't know, get laid, whatever the case is. Okay, that's cool, but that's temporary. That's temporary. That's only. It's literally you're literally bleeding, like you have a big cut, like you have a whole gash. You cannot fix this without stitches, but you're putting band-aids on the issue. You got to get to the root cause. And unfortunately, depression is literally up there in the pyramid in terms of the causes of negative things that happen to us. Depression is not our friend. It's literally our enemy. And the more we get closer to depression, the more we're going to sink. But the more we try to run away from it and try to at least find any way possible to, again, just run away from that negative energy, telling you, you're that much closer to getting out of that funk, getting out of that hole. Keep trying, keep pushing. It's not easy. It's not easy. Don't think this is going to be a walk in the park. It's not. But again, you just got to be honest with yourself. I'm telling you, I don't even know you, but I know I believe in you. And it's because there was one point I didn't even know myself. I didn't even believe in myself. I literally wanted to kill myself. Deadass. And it was one of those things. I just gave it one more try. And from now on out, I saw the keys to really, I'm not saying beating depression, because it's going to be here with us until the day that we die, right? But I'm saying we have answers in terms of finding ways to combat it, to literally douse that flame, douse that fire, right? And move on, right? To move on to the next battle that we have. But we're stronger than we think. We just got to believe in ourselves and know that we're stronger than the depression itself. Take care, y'all. Love y'all.